Judy, look, it's a beautiful spring day.
Ryan, it sure is. And you know what else is beautiful? A new episode of Garden Time.
Welcome to Garden Time. As you can see, we're still filming remotely and keeping safe, but look for our cameras out in the garden in the next couple weeks.
Coming up on the show today, we'll show you how to plant tomatoes. We'll also show you some really cool azaleas. But coming up first, spring bird care.
Well, with more people staying at home and being close to home and looking for things to be entertained, one of those is connecting with nature. Today, I'm with Amanda out at Backyard Bird Shop, and what better way to get outside and be in the backyard? Amanda, what do you have for us today?
Hi, it's so good to be with you via Zoom. I'm loving hearing the bird sounds there in your background. As you mentioned, folks are just looking for ways to stay entertained that doesn't involve electronics. And so we've noticed a lot of folks trying to connect with nature in their own backyards. It's kind of the perfect quarantine activity is feeding the birds and paying attention to what's happening in your yard.
Now, if somebody hasn't, been into birding before and they're just getting started into this, what kind of items are they looking to get that they would need?
So there's kind of three basic ways to start with hosting birds into your yard and getting them to come and visit. And right now we've got spring migration happening, so we've got lots of additional birds in our area than we normally do. So the first thing I would encourage folks to do is to put seed in your backyard. And this is the seed feeder that I have. I have a feeder with a clip-on tray to catch the mess and a dome at the top to protect from rain. And I would encourage you to just put out sunflower seeds. It's a great seed to put out. It brings in all the birds. It's nutritious, and it brings a wide variety of birds. So I would say seed, water. Even the non-seed eaters are going to still want fresh water for bathing to stay clean and healthy and keeping their feathers fresh. And so I would say moving water, and then suet. Suet is the other hot topic for birding.
Now, suet, a lot of times you hear of in wintertime. Is that just for winter, or do you use suet more other times of the year for that?
I would absolutely encourage you. In fact, I'm standing in front of our suet wall now. It's best right now, kind of now through July, is nesting season. And so many of our birds can't even process and digest seed when they're babies. And so the parents are needing this high fat and protein and insects to feed their baby birds. And so it's a great way to expand the number of birds you have coming to your feeders. And it's so much fun. I've seen a northern flicker come and take the suet to their nestlings, and then later when they're a little bit older, they're bringing the babies to my deck and sitting there and feeding them. And then you see the babies, which are full size by then, but still awkward on the feeders, and they're kind of awkwardly trying to grab a hold of the cage. But it's so fun. And I've kind of got our two most popular ones are the Insect Lovers Nutty Feast and the Just Bugs. And as you can see here, we've got these big, fabulous, gross-looking bugs in this protein and fat, and it's just amazing, and it really draws in a wide variety of birds, and it's just a lot of fun.
Now, people that are, maybe have a smaller yard and, they think of, being out in the open with these big, vast areas for birds. With a smaller yard, there's still things you can do in small yard and small spaces, right?
Oh, absolutely. We've got a lot of different options when you're trying to not put out something in big trees and big spaces. And I would encourage folks to look at window feeders. So this is a window cafe, and you can put a variety of different types of seed in here, and it has suction cups, and you can actually suction it directly to your window. We have tray feeders that work the same way. That you can suction to your windows. And then another really good approach is to feed hummingbirds. Although right now, if you're doing a good job planting natives in your yard and you have lots of flowers around, hummingbirds can find other things to eat. But if you have a hummingbird feeder out with fresh nectar, they will come too. And that's a really fun way to up your game and keep them coming year round, because we've got the Annas all year.
Right, and you have posters there too for people that have all these birds come to there. They can see, you have a way to identify them.
So these are posters that we've had created with our most common backyard birds. So there's 2 different posters in 2 different sides, and no bird is recreated. And it's a great way to kind of have an idea, if you don't know where to start, what you're looking for. You see some bird and you're like, oh, it's a brown bird. And then you kind of look in here and you can kind of get a better idea of what you're looking at.
And you have this great selection. And so are your stores open right now?
We are open for online curbside delivery only. So what we're asking folks to do is to call the store and place your order and do your payment over the phone. And then we kind of go over the protocol. But basically what we do is we collect it, we set up a time, it can be same day pickup, and we bring the product out and put it directly into their car. That way both the customers and the staff all feel safe and secure during this time. And we're reevaluating on a daily, weekly basis like everyone else, and we keep it updated on our website as things change and evolve.
Well, we appreciate the information. You've got a great selection for the beginner birder to all the way up to the advanced backyard birder. And so we appreciate you being with us today. And you can go to your website or your Facebook page, or you can go to gardentime.tv and we can click you over. So Amanda, it's been a pleasure, and we look forward to seeing you in the garden with the birds.
Great. Thank you so much, Ryan. Y'all take care.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
So I talked to some of the people here, and they were giving me a pretty good deal on trading my truck in. So then I went home and got her, and I said, okay, come pick out a Subaru.
I felt like the entire process was transparent, and that they were really honest and open with us about everything, and that made it easier to want to purchase from Capital.
I think they want to keep, loyal customers, and I never got that from any other dealership.
Capital isn't on the Parkway, they are the Parkway.
Find everything you need for spring at Al's Garden and Home.
Since 1929, Grimm's Fuel has powered great gardens around our area. With our comprehensive composting and yard debris services, we can apply quality garden mulch, compost, and blended soils with our experienced crews and trucks, including our landscape rock and bark products as well. We're proud of our industry-leading state-of-the-art composting facilities. We also can take care of your fuel oil and firewood needs. Grimm's Fuel, building great gardens since 1929.
Look around your home's exterior. Those ugly orange, green, and black algae stains look terrible. Clean them the easy way with 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. It's fast and works on all outdoor surfaces. With 30 seconds, it's clean when you want it clean.
Spring is all about freshness, and you can't get any fresher than Blooming Junction. From new and interesting annuals and perennials that can bring fresh color to your garden, to the freshest of produce from our fields and from local growers. We can also help you be successful with our full slate of timely and helpful classes. Freshen up your home and garden, inside and out, with a visit to Blooming Junction. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens and great tasting food for your table.
I don't know about you, but I love strawberries, and I love to have them right on my deck. So I'm with Sara from Portland Nursery, and she's going to help us plant up this huge planter. Yeah. So what is this?
Well, this is a very large strawberry planter, but the strawberry planters have a unique trademarker, I guess what you would call it. Little cups so that the strawberries can come out and trail over the side, and you can get kind of maximum capacity for your pots. So this is great for a patio. Sure. Or anywhere, but especially like by the front door, you can just pick some off and eat them while you're coming in or going out.
Sara, I noticed this PVC pipe, so what is that for?
Yeah, so this is a genius idea that our general manager had, which is to take a PVC pipe, cap the bottom, drill holes in the side, and stick it down the middle so it helps to water a little bit easier. I know my strawberry pots I have trouble with watering sometimes. So this you'll fill up with water down the center. It'll evenly distribute into the plants because the tall shape really makes it kind of hard.
Very much. And so I saw a coffee filter too. So what did we use this for?
So that goes in the bottom of the pot to keep all of the soil from leaking out. Saw that on Garden Time as one of the tips of the week a few years ago, and we still use it. So
excellent. And really for slugs not to be able to get up too, because sometimes they
true.
can, and that's really bad.
Yeah.
So what kind of plants do you have for us? What variety?
Yes. So I chose the Tri-Star variety of strawberry. I chose that because it's day neutral, which means that it's going to just keep producing a steady supply of strawberries, like a little handful.
And that's what you want, because I want to be out there all the time picking them out. And so when you come to the store, you might see this in a pot, and there's really multiple plants in here. It's not just one big plant.
Yes, there's 10 strawberry plants in there. And we have ours for $9.99. A lot of places sell them for cheaper, so you're going to get a way better deal if you buy them this way.
And look at all of them in there. So we just want to take them apart?
Yes, that's the number one question I get from people is, how do I get them all out? And I say it's really easy. You just dump it out, and once you do, they're pretty... You know, you can really see where the distinction is. You just gently kind of tease them apart and plant each one. If you were doing it in the ground, you'd want them about a foot apart. Okay. With these, you just put them in the holes and a few at the top.
Perfect. Yeah, they're really coming apart, and nice roots on those.
Yeah.
Very nice. So we kind of filled this up with organics soil from E.B. Stone, and you want to start at the bottom and go up. You don't want to fill it all with soil, correct?
Correct.
All right.
So you can get the roots down in there.
All right. Sarah, while you finish teasing out those plants, give me one and I'll get started. All right. So what we want to do is just kind of lay them in the cups and then push the roots all the way into the center? Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yep, and you're going to cover that with a little bit more soil.
All right.
So we'll kind of pot these up.
All right. And did you add anything else?
Yeah, we put some Sure Start, use that on everything, and then some slow release organic fertilizer.
Beautiful. So what we're going to do is finish filling up all these cups with the strawberry plants, and we're going to go layer by layer, and then we'll finish the top, and we'll be back in a couple minutes to show you. Sarah, now that was pretty easy. It wasn't taking that much time at all.
Yes. Yeah, definitely now all you have to do is find a nice sunny spot, at least like 6 hours of sun a day, and keep it really well watered.
And then I noticed that you left a lot of room here. There's a kind of the soil is down from the lip of the pot.
Yeah, that's to keep the water in there as well, so it doesn't just run right off the edges. But then again, we'll water it down the center too. So.
Yeah, and really you have that nice target there, so it's nice that it sticks up a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're interested in building this kind of container, or Sarah, really, you have other containers too.
Yeah, we have lots of different types of strawberry pots, and you can even do a hanging basket, I think we said.
Well, you can go to either of the Stark Street or the Division store. You can get your pot, you can get soil, and they have a wide selection of strawberries. So really visit them soon so you can have strawberries this summer. Thanks so much, Sarah.
Thanks.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Hi, I'm Sara from Portland Nursery, where spring is our favorite time of year. It's the time to prepare your garden for planting. We invite you to get a jump on spring with our huge selection. Let Portland Nursery's staff of professionals help with groceries you can grow. We've got the seeds, veggie starts, and expertise to ensure your success. Visit portlandnursery.com for a list of classes and special events. Portland Nursery, helping make your backyard your favorite destination at 50th and Stark and 90th and Division.
Since 1982, the Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, the Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years with the help of your friends at The Wall.
Terra Casa invites you to no-contact outdoor potluck shopping by appointment. Shop outdoor pottery, fountains, yard decor, and furniture. For products inside the store, we can text photos or FaceTime with you. Create your sanctuary with Terra Casa.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how.
Fun and fantastic garden decor.
And the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
Well, here in Oregon, we love our azaleas in the springtime. They are so beautiful. We are so lucky to have them. But we're going to talk today about a special reblooming azalea called Encore Azalea. And I'm with Janet. And Janet, thank you so much for meeting with us. And you work for such a great company. Who do you work for and what is your position?
Well, the company I work for is actually called Plant Development Services. And we have the Encore Azalea line that we actually work on. We have our own breeding company in-house, but we also are the licensees for Southern Living and Sunset Western Garden Collection. So I also manage those programs.
That is so neat. And so tell us a little bit about Encore. They've been in our market for a few years now, and some people may not know about them. So tell us a little history.
Well, they've actually been around since the 80s. And the person who started those, his name is Buddy Lee, and he's in Louisiana. And he was an ER nurse and was working the night shift and was doing nursery business during the daytime and loved azaleas. Azaleas are the just prized plant in the Southeast. And everybody was a little bit disappointed in just the short bloom period. So Buddy was traveling around the world and he found some azaleas in Thailand that were blooming in the summertime. And he thought that was interesting. So he brought seeds back and started a hybridization program. And he came up with the Encore Azalea. So they actually are a cross between Southern Indica Azalea, and the Thai reblooming azaleas.
That is really interesting. And I didn't realize it was such a long time in breeding. So I understand that there is so many, but for the Northwest, we really have some special varieties here.
We did. About 10 years ago, we started focusing on the West Coast market a little bit more. There are 48 varieties, but we've selected the best 6 for the West Coast and the Pacific Northwest, and we've partnered with local nurseries there. So they trialed all of the different varieties, and we brought some different ones out because Buddy plants about 30,000 seedlings every year. So we are doing all the different testing on those, on how they do here and rebloom here. So an azalea that was on the market 20 years ago for Encore is completely different than the varieties that we have now. They're all newer selections. They're a little bit more compact. They're blooming better for us on the West Coast. And they also have improved resistance for lace bug.
Whoa, nice. Wow, yeah. That is really great for us. And so they are a little special, and there's a little bit different kind of planting instructions for those?
Definitely. So because they have the Southern Indica roots, they require more sun than the typical azalea. So we tend to think of azaleas as shade plants, but these will actually do better with 6 to 8 hours of direct sun. We prefer that in the morning or evening. That hot afternoon sun that we get can be a little bit harsh for them. But a filtered situation, if you have a higher tree, you can plant under that, or if they can get that in the morning and the later afternoon. But if they don't get that 6 to 8 hours, they will not bloom as well for you.
And then what about pruning? Is there a special time to prune them?
So these are more compact varieties, and we would recommend that they not be pruned in the garden. If you do have to prune them a little bit right after the first spring bloom. You'll have a big spring flush, and as soon as that is done, prune them, because if you wait any longer, you're actually pruning off your buds, and then you will not get as good of a rebloom for the summer and the fall. Because these will bloom sporadically in the summer. You're going to get that big spring flush, and then it'll continue to throw some flowers for you through the summer months, and then you'll get another flush in the fall. But if you do any pruning on them, you will be cutting off your buds.
And then that's what we want. I mean, and that's why they call them Encore, because they do that repeat blooming.
Right.
That is great. And then any other tips that we should know about?
You know, they're really pretty easy plants. I've been surprised. I'm, in California here with our heat, how well they've done all the way down in Southern California. So they do take that heat very well. In the summertime, they do need some additional water. They're not drought tolerant plants. Azaleas and rhododendrons do require, especially in the hotter times, probably a weekly or bi-weekly irrigation. But they're lower water than a lot of other types of azaleas, and they're really, really tough in the landscape.
Well, that is all such great information. It's like, this spring, everybody is so starved for new plants and color. So it's really going to be something that we are going to look for in our gardens. So really go out to your independent garden centers, give them a buzz and see if they have them in, and make sure you get that Encore Azalea this year. So go to gardentime.tv and we can click you over for more information about Encore Azaleas. Janet, thank you so much for all the information. It's been great.
Thanks for having me. Great.
Now, a lot of us have vines in our yards, either climbing up on walls or trellises, or trying to hide those ugly spots of the garden. For instance, my vine here, I'm hiding a big guy wire here that's used to hold up a telephone pole. So this time of year I like to go through and try to kind of evaluate what my vine has done over the winter time. So for instance, it's getting kind of a little unruly from the winter. I had it tied up and some of the twigs might have come off, or it's starting to get ready to flush its growth. So now's kind of a good time to go through and evaluate what the vine is doing and to get it ready for all of its new growth. So for instance, here I have all of these shoots that have come up. I had some old twine that had kind of broken off from years past that I've been trimming. So what I'm going to do is a couple different things. You can go through and either chop and prune back and train a lot of these, or you can wrap it up. So since I'm getting kind of big and it carried away here, I'm going to go through, now that I can see where it's starting to leaf out, I can start either removing some of these big shoots just by chopping them off, and then allowing the new growth to start shooting up. Or I can go through and take some landscape twine or some of the green ribbon or tape, and I can go through, kind of bunch these together, and I'll just wrap these around the line just to kind of give it a little bit of shape, and so I can kind of see where it's going. So once I wrap that, I can tie it up pretty easily, and that will give me kind of my base as to what I'm doing. Then I can go through and I'll start trimming off some of these extra ones just to kind of give it a little shape, give it a little bit more definition. And then as these new growth come up, I can continue to wrap and twine these as it goes up there. So that's our tip for the week. I hope that helps. And if for other information on vines and wrapping it up, you can go to gardentime.tv. Thanks.
At Sagawa Nursery, we always talk about taking your garden from ordinary to extraordinary. For us, that means bringing you the newest and best plants and unique garden items to you, our customer. For you, that means we'll help you transform your garden into something that's extraordinary. We also have some great gift items and even a few surprises for inside your home too. Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
For over 100 years, Collier Arbor Care and Bartlett Tree Experts have provided tree and shrub care services to the Portland metropolitan area.
From large tree and small shrub pruning, tree removal, and stump grinding, we can handle all your tree care needs.
Our arborists diagnose and treat your toughest insect and disease problems.
We also have organic solutions for growing and maintaining healthy gardens, as well as organic nutrition for your trees and shrubs.
Collier and Bartlett, environmentally friendly since 1907.
Terra Casa invites you to no-contact outdoor potluck shopping by appointment. Shop outdoor pottery, fountains, yard decor, and furniture. For products inside the store, we can text photos or FaceTime with you. Create your sanctuary with Terra Casa.
For 90 years, Espoma has one guiding principle: develop the finest organic gardening products that work in harmony with nature, grow beautiful gardens, and make a greener world for the future. From our soil products to our plant foods, we have always been committed to the environment and sustainability. We use a vast array of natural and organic ingredients and package them in our 100% solar-powered plant. Look for the quality line of Espoma products at your local independent garden center. Espoma, organic from the beginning.
No matter what shade your green thumb is, you can find the plants and the help you need at Watr Farms. We're filled with an astounding array of colorful plants to fill your garden. In addition to wonderful annuals and perennials, we are known for our hanging baskets. We also have all your garden essentials, and we have great garden gifts too. From beginner to expert, you'll find something new and different with every visit. Watr Farms, located off Highway 22, exit 5, east of Salem.
Well, if you're looking for cool and unusual and rare plants, look no further than French Prairie Perennials. Today I'm with Rick, and it's always a pleasure. What do you have for us today?
Hi, Ryan. How you doing out there in virtual land?
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, I understand. Crazy times. I've got three of our more unusual Japanese maples I wanted to talk about today because they're really, really beautiful. The first one is Acer Shirasawanum Autumn Moon, which has this kind of a pumpkin orangey color that comes out with red borders in the spring. Then it'll turn more of a chartreuse color with a red border. One of my favorite Japanese maples. Doesn't get super large, and it's very prunable, so you can kind of keep it down to a more of a rounded shape if you want, or you can also have it grow in kind of a vase shape depending on how you prune it. But also in the fall, it'll go back to that red and pumpkin orange again, and it's just a very striking plant. You'll want to give it some protection during the hot sun. It doesn't like a lot of real hot sun, so morning shade, afternoon sun would be the best condition for it. But you can't keep it.
Will that foliage burn a little bit with a lot of sun?
Yeah, well, unless you keep it very well irrigated.
Right.
But the caveat to that is also needs good drainage. So, but yeah, you can control that. But if you don't want to keep it watered, it may burn.
Right. And then you have another one sitting there too, right?
I do. I have another one. This is called Acer palmatum Manyo no Sato, which has a lot of variegated foliage to it. It's got the green with the purple and a little hint of yellow in it. And it's another one of my Japanese maples that I really like. It's going to be a bigger Japanese maple. This one's going to get 12, 15 feet, but it's quite striking. And the fall color on this one is beautiful also. It's that burgundy red and orange and yellow kind of all mixed together.
Oh, pretty.
This one will take a lot more sun, Ryan. It won't burn nearly as bad, so you can put this one in full sun.
Which is nice to have options.
Right. And then the third maple I was going to talk about is Acer palmatum Olson's Frosted Strawberry, which is kind of a red and pink variegation with a little bit of green in it, and also has very striking fall foliage. It'll turn more of that bright pink and orange together. And it's quite striking. It's another one you can grow in full sun, won't burn. Doesn't get quite as big as Manyo no Sato. It's going to be in that 8 to 10 foot range, but it's a great addition to the landscape because of the beauty.
Well, excellent. Yeah, and those Japanese maples make such a statement in the yard with so many different foliage colors. But you do a lot more. You have with the statements, you do a lot like yard art. That's going to be a statement point too, right?
Right, and the maples, a lot of the maples are good in pots if you use some of the more dwarf varieties, but they're also good container trees too if you need one. But yes, actually, we got a lot of garden art. It's great for Mother's Day, and we have our set of dragons, which are really unusual, and you can put them inside or outside, either way. But they're a great addition to the landscape. And then some of the other garden art, I'm going to let Kerry take over and talk about that because I'm an idiot.
So, Kerry, it's nice seeing you, and you have those great maples and that yard art. So, what yard art do you have sitting right there?
We have some really beautiful spirals and hearts this year, and anybody that sees them immediately scoops them up. They're attractive. They're a really good contrast in the garden, and they're unexpected. So it's like, oh, I can't wait to go see that heart, or oh, I can't wait to go see my spiral. One lady, in fact, bought 3 of them. I don't want to give up the secret, but they're going to be gifts to some of her relatives. So it's kind of exciting that other people are finding out how beautiful they are also.
Right. Yeah, because with putting that piece of the art in the garden definitely does give you something more to talk about, right?
Yeah, and it gives it a lot of pop.
Right. And then you have a rhodie there. Is that your?
I do. We have Rhododendron Superflimmer, and the color on it is just striking. The vegetation
wow.
is variegated. The flower is a light lavender color. It is a smaller rhododendron that only gets to be about 4 feet in size, which is really nice for maintenance and for people with smaller landscapes. We also noticed that it does really well in sun. So,
which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times you see them and they may burn with some of the variegation, but they have that bright color in the sunshine, with the added bonus.
Yeah, this has a super waxy, thick leaf, so it seems like it doesn't burn.
So, I mean, you guys have a great selection of items there, and you're open for business. So what are some of your protocols now for dealing with the customers coming in?
Of course, we're asking everyone to be at least 6 feet apart. We're asking people to not touch a lot of stuff in the gift shop. We're wiping contact points. You know, we're sterilizing, of course, frequently. Fortunately for us, because we are a more intimate, smaller nursery, we're not having people just, you know, in droves. And so we're able to kind of police that a little easier. And it seems like our customers are very wary. So they ask questions like, can I come into the store at the time? You know, I try to limit how many come in at a time to have any issues with getting each other's personal space. And so it seems to be working out just fine.
Well, good. Yeah, and having that intimate thing. So you guys have, you know, an amazing selection of, you know, that rare, the unusual, you know, the different things you might not find in other places. So, you know, Rick and Kerry, we appreciate being with you. It's always a pleasure. So, you know, for more information, you can go to your website at French Prairie Perennials or go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over. So it's always
or even Facebook. We have a great Facebook page too.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Find everything you need for spring at Al's Garden and Home.
Peonies, bold and beautiful, an old favorite, but ever new, and perfect for your garden. At Adelman Peonies, you'll find hundreds of different peonies, bush, ito, and tree peonies covering 20 acres. Come stroll the display garden, then find a special plant or bouquet to take home. Join us any day of the week for beautiful color or weekends for special events. Adelman Peonies is just east of I-5 at exit 263 on Brook Lake Road or online at peonyparadise.com.
Dram is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. Dram products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. Dram for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
Look around your home's exterior. Those ugly orange, green, and black algae stains look terrible. Clean them the easy way with 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. It's fast and works on all outdoor surfaces. With 30 seconds, it's clean when you want it clean.
As gardeners, we're always looking for something to help us gardens. Well, I'm with Jeff today, and he's from Daisy Rain Garden Systems. And Jeff, this is incredible. What a great invention. You are amazing.
Wow, I like that. My wife would argue, but...
But you came up with something to really solve a lot of problems for us that we love to garden in pots on our deck or on our patio, and you came up with a cool system that it's going to help the plants be healthy and it's going to look nice.
Yes, and I came up with it to solve my problem because we use the microline stuff at drip irrigation. Mm-hmm. It's very temperamental. Mm-hmm. When it works great, but you have to stay on it.
Right.
I wanted something that was tough and we could expand. We call this macro drip, meaning not 6 gallons or less per hour. We do 40 gallons an hour, but it's half inch. It's still low pressure. Mm-hmm. It's still 25 pounds of pressure, but the idea is to get the plants watered quickly with a system that won't clog and is easy to put together and it's dependable.
That's wonderful, yeah. Because you don't want dead plants.
Plants are expensive, either with your time or your dollars.
Right.
It's an investment.
Right. Well, this is cool because there's just like this kind of little gorge right here. So tell us about that.
That's our keyway. That's our patented keyway. And basically what it allows for, this will accept actually a number of pipes, PVC Schedule 40 pipe. We use this 17 millimeter half-inch drip pipe, but this keyway allows you to come into the pot with the half-inch pipe. And that way, if you still love that microline drip, drip, drip stuff, you can actually go ahead and thread that onto here.
Ah, sure.
And another way, there's so many ways to use these, but you can use these as a distribution point. Hanging flowers, you can run your half-inch line to it and then come out of this and do your hanging pots.
Oh, wow.
But it's just the idea that it's dependable and it's easy to put away and it's really simple to set up. In fact, all you have to do is
Okay, show us here. Okay.
hook up a hose.
Okay.
Can you hook up a hose?
I can. I know how to do that.
Both things?
Yes,
Then you're in business.
Excellent.
Because that's it. Our kit comes with a pre-assembled pressure reducer, the swivel, everything you need. Now what we're showing here, this is basically flower and vegetable. You can germinate, you plant the flowers around here, it works great. If you want to do a rose or a shrub, a boxwood, an arborvitae with stuff around it, you simply don't put on the head, and you bend the pipe over, you put this 8 bend on, and you basically poke a hole in it.
Okay.
The roots, this will work in tandem with this. So this output, believe it or not, because of evaporation, the shrub will get just enough water as the tomatoes or whatever out in the other pots.
And about how many could we daisy chain together then?
25.
Wow.
25. You can actually do 27, but we say 25.
Yeah, just to be
because we're
safe.
pessimists.
Well, you want that last one to get the water, don't you?
25 is too many. These are 7-gallon pots. These will take any plant to full maturity, any plant. And that was kind of, they only come in one size now. We had to err on the side of we wanted to take every plant to full maturity.
Sure.
And so, but they're at perfect size, and the 25 of them's too many.
Well, you know, I love their website too because, of course, we love to see a video of it. You have great videos on your website. And then we can also order off the website too.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, we are not in retail yet. We are in ACE stores. We're in their catalog. Their stores can buy us. But it's going to be a year before they buy that seasonal stuff. But
Sure.
yes, you can buy them direct. We ship them. We've got great deals going. And I appreciate what you said about the video. My son does those videos.
Oh, excellent.
We do them ourselves. We're mom, pa. We do everything.
Wow.
We actually mold these in Hillsboro. All the pieces are basically American, every piece. And we assemble them and ship them out.
So, you know, we love local, and a local inventor, local family, local company that you can get, and you can get it this season. You don't have to wait till it's in the store. So you can go to gardentime.tv, we'll click you over to their website, and you can see the video, see how easy it is, and order one and have one on the deck really soon.
For Mother's Day.
There you go.
It's a great present for Mother's Day. My shameless plug.
That's okay, that's okay. That's how you do business.
I'm shameless.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thank you.
Color, color, color. When you think of your garden, think of color. Then think of Margie's Farm and Garden. High quality plants and great customer service are our trademark. We make sure you're happy with every purchase. Whether you're a first-time gardener or a seasoned professional, we'll help you be successful every time you step into your garden. Vegetables or herbs, hanging baskets or perennials, trust Margie's Farm and Garden, just off I-5 near Aurora.
Since 1926, the Bonide Company has worked with homeowners to make their homes and gardens beautiful. If you have a garden problem, Bonide has the answer. Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew controls most common garden insects and is derived from a naturally occurring bacteria to help with your organic gardening. It's safe to use even on fruits and vegetables. Visit Bonide.com to find a local retailer and to download your free Bonide Problem Solver app for your iPhone or Droid.
Since 1987, French Prairie Gardens has brought you the best in farm fresh produce, beautiful plants, and memorable family events. Spring is here, and now is the time to get your garden ready with our wide selection of bedding plants and hanging baskets. Experience the best the country has to offer at French Prairie Gardens.
I'm at Terra Casa today in Damascus with Diana. And Diana, you know, we're in our decks, we're in our garden, and we're going to talk about sound and motion today.
Yes.
So, you know, I think we're unplugging. We're getting out in the garden, and so we don't want to bring the radio out or CD player. So what do you suggest?
So there's a couple things. I love wind chimes. We have really, really large wind chimes that make amazing grace sounds, Corinthian bells, and then we have little tiny ones that just kind of make a little tinkling sound, but they're really fun to have in the garden. And as you're outside working in the dirt, which I love to do, it's fun to hear those sounds.
It is nice, and really it's magical. It makes it magical.
It is.
And then even the sound of the rain. I mean, we love the sound of the rain, but down a rain chain, it's a different kind of sound.
It is. So the rain chains replace a gutter next to your house. And you do get a lot of sound from these, and it's kind of amazing, and especially what you put at the bottom, because a lot of people will put a pot at the bottom or a copper pan, and you get a lot of sound. It's very musical when it comes down the rain chain itself, and they're fun to look at, too.
They are. There's so many different styles. They're really beautiful.
They are. They're fun.
And then your favorite motion in the garden. I love talking about those.
The spinners. The spinners are very, very popular. We have spinner stakes. We have the hanging spinners. And then we have the large spinners, some of which have LED lights in them.
Oh,
so
that
they
is
light
cool.
up at night, and so you'll be able to see them from your home.
And really, I love too that you don't even have to have wind. Because you can have them outside where the nature has the wind, but you can have them inside and have the little motors.
Yes, and actually, yeah, the smaller ones, we do have the motors that you can hook up, and they're going all the time, and they reflect the light inside the house, so you get movement inside your house as well.
That is true, and you really have everything for indoors and outdoors. So.
We try.
Yeah, true. So really worth a trip to come out to Terra Casa. Lovely, lovely things for your home and your garden. So if you have any other questions, please go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to the website. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Judy.
There's nothing like homegrown tomatoes, and we have some tips to have a successful crop. So the best thing I could do for tomatoes is to get your soil ready. So we dug a very deep hole because tomatoes are the one vegetable that you can plant really deep. And you also want to add some garden lime, and for each plant you want to put in about 3 tablespoons at the bottom of that hole. And the lime is great because it helps the soil be more neutral pH, but really it helps to prevent that blossom end rot on the fruit. That's that black on the bottom of the fruit. So you always want to make sure you add the garden lime. You also want to add some kind of a fertilizer. We're using the Espoma tomato tone, and you also want to use about 3 tablespoons of that in the bottom of the hole. Now with tomatoes, it's one of the few fruits that you can plant deeper than any other fruit or vegetable. So when you take it out of the pot, you want to put it at the bottom of that hole, and you want to take off these bottom leaves that would be underground, and then you put the soil back. And this is so important because where each of the nodes are underground will put out more roots, and it will make a stronger tomato plant and give you much more fruit.
Now, just because you have the tomato planted, you might think, well, all of the work is done. However, there's a couple other tips that you need to be aware of. If you plant it early, like so many of us have, you want to make sure that the nights, even if they drop down to like the 40s, you still want to give them a little extra heat. We suggest things like this wonderful wall of water. It's really just a circular tube that has a lot of individual cells. So you open it up, it's usually about 2 foot tall, you slip it over the tomato, and then fill each of those cells up with water. Then during the day, while the sun is shining, it heats up the water, and then when the sun sets, that heat escapes into this rounded area that's kind of closed off and helps the tomato grow better. So it's a very simple and easy way to help tomatoes really start going. Then, after a few weeks, well, of course, they're going to start getting bigger. And so these cages are really handy. Whether you have tomatoes that are determinate or indeterminate, these help because as they grow up, they can flop over, the wind can knock them down. This really gives them a lot of protection. It also helps if you want to do some pruning, and certainly when harvest time comes, you can see right all the way around it where the ripe fruit is and ready to be picked.
So we hope that all these tips will help you have a wonderful crop this summer.
DRAM is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. DRAM products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. DRAM for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
Mother's Day is coming and Garden Gallery Ironworks can help. Bring some color to her life with a wonderful Dean Krauser artwork. Pick from an assortment of items including cups, plates, bird feeders, and wall art. You can get gift wrapping on request and even a hands-free pickup. Our store is closed, but you can check out our website or Facebook page for available items, and then call or email to place an order. Garden Gallery Ironworks in Hubbard.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian Bauman from Bauman's Farm and Garden, and I wanted to welcome you to the Bauman Bakery, I mean Nursery. Well, today we're going to blur the lines between the two of them a little bit, and we're going to show you how to make a succulent wedding cake. Succulents are one of those things that are insanely popular, and we love them. Everywhere I go, we're always collecting new samples and bringing new things home, and we have dozens of different varieties. One of the favorite things that we do on the farm is we take those succulents and we put them into small, little 2-inch pots. The nice thing about the 2-inch pots is it really gives you the chance to use them in a lot of different creative ways, like for example, a succulent wedding cake. We've taken a nice kind of smattering of things that I thought would look really cool in this wedding cake. It's a mix of tropical and hardy succulents, but if you ever have any questions about which ones are going to live during the winter and which ones play nice or don't play nice together, come on by the farm. We'd be happy to show you all the different ones we have. In order to get started, we've got 3 different tiers to our cake. So we're going to start with the big tier, and rather than fill this all the way up with soil, we're going to take part of the pot and fill it up about halfway with gravel. That way we'll have good drainage, and it allows for our second tier to sit up just a little bit. And now that we've got our second tier in place, we're going to take a little bit of black gold potting soil and fill it in around the outside. So let's grab some of that. Alrighty, we've got some soil in here, and now it's time to get planting. Now some of these 2-inch are a little deep, but succulents don't need a lot of roots. A lot of times I'll pinch the bottom right off, which gives me just the right amount of space, and we're gonna slide this guy right into place. And now we're gonna work our way around the outside. Okay, I've successfully completed the first tier and made a mess, but just don't tell my mom. Okay, so we're gonna put some rocks in the center here, and we're going to begin work on the second tier. All right. All right, last piece. And a little tuck and nip here and there, and I think it'll be all ready to go. Cool. What a fun project to do with succulents, and to try out some more different things with the 2-inch succulents we have at Bauman's, head on over to our YouTube channel at Bauman's Farm and Garden.
May is the time for rhododendrons, and a lot of people make a point to visit the rhododendron gardens at Crystal Springs.
Since the parks are closed, we thought we would take you on a tour from some of the footage from the garden. Well, water is really on our minds these days. Oregon is coming out of one of the driest Aprils that we've had. And so we're all just worrying about that. And so I'm with Bonnie today from the Regional Water Providers Consortium. And so Bonnie, you always give us so many good tips about water. And so let's first talk about drinking water. So during this crisis, everything's fine, right?
Yeah, so one of the silver linings to this whole thing is that this is not a water emergency. So your water is safe to drink, it's safe to use, and it's still available.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes we just start watching the news too much, and so we're washing our hands, and so that's for 20 seconds. And I was thinking about it, it's like, I don't want to be wasting water, but I want clean hands and healthy, surroundings. So is there something else we can do?
Yeah, so we're really trying to make sure that people realize that having clean hands and hygiene is super, super important always, but definitely during this pandemic. But if you want to use less water while you're washing your hands for those 20 seconds, go ahead and put in a high efficiency aerator into your faucets, and that'll save water and help keep you safe and healthy.
And then, we have to talk about gardening. And so, it's one of those springs that it's been raining, but then it's been warm, and now it's going to get even warmer. So what can we do outdoors to kind of help conserve water?
Yeah, so it does look like we're going to have an early watering season potentially. And so one of the best things that you can do right now is make sure that your sprinkler and watering systems are ready to go for the summer. So with faucets, you're going to want to make sure to tighten connections. And then with your sprinklers, you're going to want to run those zone by zone and make sure that everything is in tip-top shape. And of course, if you can fix it yourself, go ahead and do that. But if you can't, make sure to call a professional. And then also, I do want to mention that we have our weekly watering number, which will tell you how much to water each week, dependent on weather and your zip code. And that's for free. You can get it on our website.
Yeah, I just got mine the other day. So it's really great to have that reminder about how much you can water your lawns and your garden. It's just really, we want to help, and everybody wants to do their part, and we want to have a great garden, but we also want to help our water issues and our watering supply.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the great things with the weekly watering number is that we also send out a weekly tip that comes with it. So that'll keep you going and make sure that you have all sorts of ways that you can use water efficiently this summer. And of course, water being used efficiently is going to help with your summer bills as well.
That's right. And over the last years, we have so many great segments with you and other people, other your colleagues, about watering wisely. So you can always go to the Garden Time website, to the archives, and just put in water, and those will come up and you can review them. And you can go to the website, and we'll have that on the Garden Time website. And so we can all really help during this time and be really good stewards of nature. Bonnie, thanks so much for all you give us, and please go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over, and you can sign up for the weekly water number and get any other information from the consortium. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
This week's tip of the week is all about slug bait. This time of the year, the weather is so changeable. One day it's cool and rainy, the next it's sunny and warm, and then it's back to cool and rainy. And slugs love cool and rainy weather. They're ready to attack all the new starts you're putting in and all the plants that are coming up from last year. So I'll be showing you all the different kinds of slug baits and how to apply them. Well, first I want to show you some classic symptoms, examples of slug damage. Look at these holes on these hostas. See them right there? Right in the center or to the edge of the hostas. I was kind of lax, and I should have been putting slug bait when these plants were just emerging from the ground about 3 or 4 weeks ago. But they're still tender, and so I want to put out the slug bait now so that they're not going to be doing any more damage. I found these slug bait products at my favorite independent garden center, and the first one is called Deadline. Now Deadline has an ingredient called metaldehyde, so you do have to be careful if you have children and pets in your family and for yourself. You do apply this around the plants. In the bottle it is a liquid, and you do kind of put like a blob near the plants, not directly on the plants, near the plants about the size of a nickel. The bag has a pellet type product in it, and so you do kind of apply it, drawing it away a little bit from the plants so that the slugs do get away from the plants, and you kind of spread it around. This is also safe with vegetables. Just read the package about how to apply it near vegetables and how many days that you could apply it before harvest. The next slug bait I found is called Sluggo, and Sluggo is made up of iron phosphate, which is safe around children, pets, and even us as gardeners. It's a pellet, so you do kind of broadcast it and put it a little bit away from the plants to draw the slugs away from it. As always, make sure that you read all the directions so that you are applying it safely. And the last product I want to talk about is Kerry Slug and Snail Killer. Now this material is sodium ferric EDTA, which is another natural product that you don't have to worry about it being applied near children or pets or yourself. It's another one that's like a pellet that you do spread around the plants and a little bit away from the plants so that the slugs are drawn away from them. To give you an idea on how to apply the pellet kind of slug bait, I'm going to go back to that hosta with the slug damage, because I know slugs are lurking around here somewhere. And then I'm going to use the pellet form of the Kerry's. And what you do is you just kind of shake out the product, just not on top of the plant, but close by. And the action is kind of like how you would salt your food. You want to apply it, but you don't want to over apply it. You don't need so much. You don't have to cover the whole area with the pellets. So baiting for slugs isn't a really hard project for the garden, but it's such a necessary one so that you could really reduce the damage that is done to the young foliage this time of year. You know, make sure that you get a slug bait that is perfect for your type of gardening, and then also make sure that you read the information on the package so that you do apply it correctly. And also don't forget to do it later in the season if you need it, or going into the fall when we return to the cool, moist weather. You know, that's our tip of the week, applying slug bait.
We want to thank you for watching Garden Time today, and we want to wish all the moms out there a happy Mother's Day. And we hope that you're out in the garden with your mom, either in person or virtually.
And if you need any other information on the show today, or to watch any other episodes, go to gardentime.tv. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on Garden Time.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.